work. We are going to deal with an abbreviation called WINGS. W will stand for work. Then the following one, the second one, the little one, this one, investments. The third one, network. The fourth one is which letter? G, right? Generosity. And the thumb, which one is it? S. What do you think S stands for? Success. Savings. Service. What do you think S stands for? They already mentioned success. You don't repeat that. Suffering. What does S stand for? That is our guess. Sacrifice. You're right, savings. You see, that's how my hand looks like. Don't you think it is nice? So that is if you want to fly very fast as a young man, to live a life that is very, very profitable, for you to live a life that will benefit you, a life that you're going to enjoy, then you must adopt wings for yourself, because wings will take you faster. And this wings is an abbreviation for work, investments, network, generosity, and saving. I want us to look at this one by one. Work. Many of us know work. You know, I read somewhere that the only place where success comes before work is in the dictionary. That is the only place you will find success appearing before work. Many times, many of us want to put things the other way around. We want, success to come before work. We want it to be like in the dictionary way. But normally, before success comes in, work has to come first. And in order for something to qualify to be work, it must be productive. If not, then you are toiling. So work is a bad term to many of the young people. Many young people don't want work. They don't want to work. I have been an employer. There are situations where you even wonder what is wrong with this one. People don't want to work. You're doing some work, they're giving you some money that will help you, then you rather choose to leave the work. And you say the money is little. There is no little money on this earth. It is not what? It is not there. The attitude that we have towards work will determine how we will become successful in the future. And I'm telling you, for those of us who come from Teso, it is even worse for us. If you want to come across lazy people, you come to Teso. When God created us to be workers and not to be job makers, not to be job seekers. Sometimes you find some of us are crying, In your home you have 30 acres of land, but you are here in town crying, there is no job, there is no job. Why don't you go and begin putting something down and begin earning something? The secret about a job, it is easier for you to get a job when you have a job. But when you don't have a job, it is very hard for you to get a job. God himself is a worker. The Bible tells us that God worked for 6 days and he rested for 1 day. But today many of us, we want to rest for 6 days and work for 1 day. We used to have a chef. Yeah? He would cook food. The moment she cooks food for a workshop, 1 day or 2 days, then you know she needs to go off for one whole week, or even more than 1 week. Just cooking food for 30 or 40 people. She will what? I am so tired. You know, that is not the way work is. God created us to work, and you must work for 6 days. Then you rest for what? 1 day. And that resting day, you are supposed to be spending it before the Lord. But today the world is full of most of us who are lazy and we do not work. Work is looked at as something that is what? Very, very negative. But I want to tell you, in this world, you will never succeed if you don't work. You will never succeed. Many people think it is education. I keep telling young people, even when you look at our Soroti town here, the richest people in Soroti are not educated people. They are not. They are people who started working. There are people who started working. Some of them started by selling groundnuts. Some of them started by selling fish, riding a bicycle. But they have risen to a very high level. I have known some of them even who don't know how to sign. Because of now they developed a need of putting money in the bank. Because the money is too much, you can no longer keep it at home. But the guy even has no signature. When he goes to the bank, they first have to give him a whole full scarf to practice. Practice. Then when the signature now comes, then he goes and signs the check. But for you, you can have the longest and the most beautiful signatures, but you have never even signed the one, the check. Then these are people who are what? It is work that what? Takes us high. We must learn to work. We cannot live in this world unless we work. God blesses the work of our hands. Let nobody deceive you that you can live without what? Without working. The Bible says, occupy until I come. The parable of the talents gives us an idea of what God expects of us to do with our money, with our gifts, with our talents, resources, while we are here on earth. We know we have read those parables in, I think, Matthew chapter 25, and then also there is Luke somewhere, I think Luke 13 or 19 somewhere around there, where the parable of the 10 minas, the parable of the talents. And actually when you look at the parables that Jesus gave, I think almost over 50% of them are more related to what? When you look at it, more related, they are business in nature. They are what? They are related to money in nature, on those. So, occupy until I come. God has charged each one of us with the responsibility to work. You know, many of us think that poverty is lack of money. But poverty actually is not lack of money, but it is the improper or the abuse of money. Sometimes some of us are poor because we abuse money. Sometimes some of us are poor because we use money in a very, very inappropriate way. And that is why poverty comes. And poverty is a mindset issue. It is not even a what? It is not even like a money issue as many of us think. You go and then you ask, even in churches, you go, you have a group of pastors and you ask them for, what is the challenge? What is your biggest challenge that you face as a child? Number one is going to be poverty. That is what they will say. But so everybody, it is just a mindset issue that people think about. But you know, investments do not always guarantee wealth, but they reveal a proper understanding of the use of money and resources. That is what investments are. When you find people with investment, then you must know that those people understand money,